Hello, friends, and happy Friday. How is everyone doing this Friday evening? I hope you're staying dry if you're here on the East Coast of the United States, because we've had some torrential downpours. But I'm here. I'm above water, so all is good. Great to see everyone. I am enjoying some haunted bookshop in the Matches Memorial Friday Sabanelli, as is the tradition here on the Friday night live stream. And now that I have confirmed that I can at least see myself, and hopefully you can see me, let me switch on over to the chat and see who we have so far assembled. Looks like a good crowd already. There's Jeffrey Feinberg. Hello, Jeffrey. Pondering with Pepe's Pipes. Good to see you, Pepe. Paul Rapp, David Bookshop, Patrick Grant. Great to see you guys. Ghost Rider. Good morning to you, Sir Daniel Leslie, Alexander Jr., Declan Letterjohn. Good evening. 1PS. How you doing, 1PS? Good to see you. Gary Edminster. Gary's got Peterson house pipe with vanilla custard and a 24-ounce honey brown. Ah, good man, Gary. Good man. There's Carrie checking in. Good to see you, Carrie. Lord Hogarth. Chris Weber checking in from Iowa. Good to see you, Chris. I always want to say Ohio when I see the word Iowa. I don't know what it is. There's something about my brain that ain't right. Uh, Good to see you, Chris. Signalman Tony from Rhode Island, Millennial Codger, Piper on the 45, and I believe we are all caught up. Patrick has got Haunted Bookshop in his Friday 7 Ellie with a Natty Daddy. Good to know, Patrick. Hope you're enjoying it. There's Hillbilly Piper. How you doing, Donnie? I am enjoying a wee dram of whiskey. I don't remember what it is. Before I move on to the main event, I had that a little bit earlier and just wanted to finish it up before I open up a beer. But I got a Yingling waiting in the wings, as it were. Daniel just lit his olive wood author shaped pipe and has a nice cold beer. Good deal, Daniel. You know, I got to get out my my olive wood. It's also an author shape, and maybe I'll smoke that next Friday, and we can compare notes on it. Piper Okie, good to see you. Yeah, we both got it from Carl, so I'm guessing they're going to be somewhat similar, Daniel. So yeah, we had some really wild weather here today. All week it's been raining nonstop. Well, I shouldn't say nonstop, but it's rained a lot. And today we just got this flash flood warning that came across at about 2 o'clock or so. And yeah, apparently there's some areas not too far from here that got a lot of water. 1PS is going to have some vapor cake and a cob. Sounds good. I can remember what whiskey I'm drinking. I just can't think of the name right now, Declan. I know I can see the bottle. I'm not drunk. I'm just old. Seagram's. It's Seagram. Nothing fancy. Same in New York City, Patrick. Yeah, interesting weather. Big Dave, how you doing, Dave? I didn't know you had two types of olive wood, Daniel. That's interesting. Thank you, Paul. Yes, depressing the like button helps us out. Would be much appreciated indeed. There's Flint Hill Briar. How you doing, Flint Hill? Hey, Big Dave, I'm glad you're here. I got a question for you. I got a machinist question. Well, not really a machinist question. It's an oil question. Actually, it's a grease question. Maybe I should just ask the question. I'll show you my latest acquisition. Just came in the mail today. Silly little thumb action oil can. Was advertised as a machinist oil can. I do not know if that's true or not. I mean, I've seen similar things called sewing machine oil cans. I bought it. I actually need it. It's not just an antique thing, but I do like older tools and stuff. But I bought this because I wanted something that I can hold my honing oil in that I use on my oil stones. And right now I got it in a plastic bottle, which is not ideal. I make it myself, so I mix up enough of it, and I can put it in something like that, and hopefully not spill it all over everything. Anyway, I wanted a small one for that, and I found this, and it's perfect in every way, but I finally got the lid off, which was not easy, because whoever used it previously had left, come on, there we go. I left it full of what appears to be grease, and see that. I don't know if you can see that or not, but yeah, it looks like they filled it with grease, which I don't understand. I mean, this is not something that's going to dispense grease very effectively, but, and you might be able to see there's some of it that's kind of solidified on the spout and whatnot. So the question is, how do I clean this? How do I get that grease out of there? I mean, I can guess, I can make things up, but is there any tried and true method that one of you guys know that'll get the grease out of that thing and leave it ready to accept some much lighter oil? There's James Steidel and Doug Owen. Good to see you guys. If I only had the nerve. If only, Chris. Poem, hubba bubba, my friend. Good to see you. Acetone, you think that's that's one of the things I probably would wind up trying, 1PS. Ah, yes, Daniel. I did not see that video, but thank you for alerting us to that. So our buddy Chad Yardism, his neighbor had a bad fire, and it was close to Chad's house. So keep Chad's neighbor and Chad himself in our prayers. Yardism is a wonderful guy. Good to have him in the community, and we certainly hope all is well there. Kerosene, boiling in water. Tin Man. I get you now, Chris. Okay, I'm a little slow. Straight gasoline. Yeah. Popsicle stick to break up the grease and then soak it in kerosene. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to ask a really stupid question. Where do you get kerosene? Because you used to be able to go to the gas station and get it. I haven't seen it at a gas station in forever. Can you buy it like at a hardware store, or where does kerosene come from these days? WD-40. Alex Saunders has got a Scudo going in a 7LE 626. Very nice, Alec. So poem suggesting heat followed by scooping and then acetone. So lamp oil is the same thing? Okay. The hardware store. So I think I've seen it called white gas, but I didn't know about lamp oil. Auto parts store. Some sheets that haven't been updated in a while still have them. Oh, okay. I don't think there's any sheets around here, but Ace has it. Okay. Camping. Oh, yeah, it's probably used in camping stoves. Good point, Daniel. Farm supply. All right. Thank you, guys. Home Depot even has it. Oh, I need to look around more. Oh, I'm not going to do that, Doug, but that's pretty cool. In the movie No Time for Sergeants, Andy Griffith added kerosene to his whiskey to make it more like the moonshine of his youth. That is hilarious. Yeah, I didn't think lamp oil was the same either, Flint Hill. That's why I asked, but I do not know. Kevin Berenger, good to see you, buddy. It has been a while. 673 with Haunted Bookshop, good deal. And yes, John's videos are always binge worthy. I've lost many hours. Holmes got some Evan Williams. Much higher falutin than me with my Seagrams, but so is kerosene less flammable, Big Dave? I've always wondered. Kerosene's a bit of a mystery to me, to be honest, but I think it is. If I remember right, you have to warm kerosene in order to get it to ignite. Because there are some old power tools that would run on kerosene, but you would have to actually heat them up, heat up the kerosene combustion chamber in order to get it to get going. And by power tools, I mean like yard type things. I don't think anybody's running a kerosene powered table saw or anything like that. Thank you, Big Dave. I like it. I like little things like this, and knowing that somebody probably used this standing at a lathe or a mill, and that the things he made and the life he lived, just I just enjoy that. An activity enjoyed is not time wasted. Indeed. Good. I want a T-shirt with that written on it, James. Okay, so like Diesel, it has a higher flash point. Thank you, Flino. I will have to look for that movie, Doug. Random things you learn, indeed, Carrie. It's one of the things I love about this community. I mean, we're all pipe smokers and we're all pretty narrow in that, but then you got the rest of your life, and we got people from all walks of life. We got doctors and lawyers, and I even have an Indian chief in there, and it's just wonderful. Zippo lighter fluid is not kerosene. Zippo lighter fluid is naphtha plus some additives, but it's primarily naphtha. Bob Kraus, good to see you tonight, Bob. Doug, sliding back over to Andy Griffith for a bit. I really enjoy Andy Griffith. I liked him in Matlock. I wasn't a big fan of the show, but I thought his performance in it was really good. I always liked the old Andy Griffith show. But for a long time, I was a fan of MeTV. I watched that quite a bit because I'm old. Uh, not that old, but I just don't like modern TV, and it was just nice to kind of go back to the childhood, the child in me, and watch some of these old shows. And they would play it so much, like it would just be like every time I turn it on, it would be Andy Griffith. It kind of got on my nerves after a while. And now when I see his name, I kind of have this visceral reaction to him. And that's a shame. So I'm looking forward to watching that movie. Maybe that'll help me get over my Andy Griffith problems. Flint Hill, I think that's a just a fact of being male in the United States. I mean, I've lit quite a few things on fire over the years and gotten in trouble for quite a few of them too. Steph and Skip Kane, how are you tonight? I've heard of people having kerosene heaters going. I always wondered about that, but then again, I've seen gasoline powered washing machines, and I think there was even, this sounds really strange, but I think there was a gasoline powered refrigerator. I haven't watched the new Matlock show, Daniel. I barely even knew that it existed, to be honest. I've watched no network television in a very long time. And I'm not saying that's something to be proud of, it's just the fact. Andy had an affair with Helen? Oh no. Well, they were an item in the show, weren't they, Big Dave? I'm sure kerosene makes an excellent weed killer, Pum. Oh, Joita, how you doing tonight, buddy? Skip is in Key West. Oh my goodness. How's the weather down there, Steph? I know you had some extreme. I think I saw you had some extreme weather last week. Hope everything is well in your neck of the woods. Gas powered blender. There you go. That's fascinating, Piper on the 45. You know, Kevin, they still have what are called gravel and oil roads around here, where they lay down gravel and then they soak it down in oil. That just helps keep the dust down. And I think it actually, I think it somehow, I hate to say congeals, but I don't know what else to say around the gravel and helps it stick together. But they still do that in some areas here. Yeah, Don Knotts was hard to look away from at times, Carrie. Glad the garden's happy, Steph. Our garden should be happy. It got enough water to last it the whole darn summer the past couple of days. And I went out and checked, and everything that I planted and showed you on Sunday is still there. So that's a good thing. Oh, Couch, it's been a while since I've looked at black market kidneys, but I would think they're probably not selling for enough for you to quit. You're like the third person I talked to today that wants to quit. What's going on? And for the record, none of those people were me. Andy Griffith and Don Knotts were each married 3 times. Wow. And never to one another. That's which, you have to clarify that these days. Steph reaching deep into the lantern lower there. Big Dave wants to do something other than machining. I I obviously have never done it for a living, Big Dave, so I don't know. But I'm somebody that spends all my time just thinking and writing, and I really sometimes wish I could do something like machining. I just want to use my hands more when I'm working. So it's funny when I hear people that do that kind of thing say that they want to do something else because it's like you got my dream job, Big Dave. John Brett, you can't be late. You're right on time, buddy. Good to see you. Everybody's fine tonight. White gas catalytic heater. That does sound interesting, Flinthill. My goodness. Daniel Leslie is curious if anybody has any work-related pipe stories from the days when you could smoke at work. We were, Doug. I think we need to get a DNA test done. I don't have a pipe related, so I have a cigar related story. And it was right at the tail end of when you could still smoke at work. I was at the University of Pittsburgh when they said no, you couldn't smoke in the buildings. And there were still a few people, a few faculty that had dispensations where if you were in their lab, you could smoke, but you couldn't smoke in the hallway. But you could smoke outside anywhere. And at the time, I was a cigar smoker more so than a pipe. I hadn't yet gotten into pipes. And I would usually walk home with a cigar in warm weather. And it was just really convenient to light. So the lab I worked in had a chemical fume hood with a Bunsen burner in it. And it was not one of the labs that you were allowed to smoke in. But I could light the cigar in the Bunsen burner in the chemical fume hood. And then if I moved quickly, I could get outside before it would need another puff. So I get it lit good, and then I go run down the steps and go outside and smoke it and walk home. Well, Dave, you've done your time, haven't you? I can understand the desire to do something different then. That's perfect, Steph. If you can get a job in a cigar shop, you're golden then, aren't you? And Doug, yeah, Doug's surely got a million of them. Well, that's a story to make us all jealous, Kevin. 2 blocks, working 2 blocks away from Yuli's and getting to go every day in your lunch hour. My goodness. Todd Munson, good evening to you. And there's Paragon Piper, still self-employed, so he can smoke a pipe all day. But his boss is a jerk. That's true, James. I can probably keep the house warm with a Zippo. Yes. John Brett, that's not good. I didn't take it, honest. Nobody's ever late, Paul, indeed. Oh, those old Coleman lanterns are really cool, Chuita. Oh, there we go. Piperoki's got an actual number for us. You can legally sell a kidney in Israel for 150,000. Now, Couch, before you get excited, you got to get to Israel to do it. So, there's going to be airfare and everything else. And I don't know if this is the right time to be going to Israel. I love that cough drop story, Doug. That is hilarious. David G. H&H Pure Virginia and an LCS Briars number 542. Good deal, David. I have finished the whiskey. Which really wasn't very much whiskey. I want you all to think I'm becoming a lush before your eyes. So the beer tonight is a very Welcome yet simple Yingling lager. Tell me truly, is the beer portion, the beer pouring portion of the show your favorite? Because it's my favorite. And I would imagine it's just compelling viewing. Oh, I've burned many holes from cigar and pipe ash droppings, Daniel. Far too many to count. Ah, John found his pipe. Very good. Never had Old School, but hope you enjoy it, John. Yeah, bad weather all around, David. Kevin Piperoki just did some deep research. I'm sure. I'm sure he's not involved in any international organ smuggling rings or anything like that. Yeah, that's forgetting to drill the draft holes a major boo boo. I've had that happen on a pipe. Although it was a pipe, it was a pipe that Lane purchased a bunch of preformed stummels that they just had to put stems on, and they gave them out as part of a promotion when they reintroduced Crown Achievement. So it's kind of understandable that they might have missed that. But yeah, for Peterson to do it. Steve Stazak, how you doing, Steve? You can't be late. You're right on time. Oh, Declan, you got some nice tobaccos coming in there. Big Dave wants to know if there's any pipe tobaccos that taste like cough drops. God, I hope not, Dave. The Smooth Piper. Good evening to you, Peter. A functional testicle goes for 60,000. What about a non-functional Piperoki? I wonder if there's a market for those as well. The Smooth Piper's got Haunted Bookshop in his Friday Savinelli Roma loose site. Good deal there, Peter. So, Big Dave, does it just have to taste like a cough drop, or does it also have to produce voluminous amounts of thick white smoke? Oh, Smith Brothers. Were the Smith Brothers cough drops the ones that were chewable? When I was a kid, there were these cough drops that were soft, and I used to really like those. And I was a weird kid. I liked black licorice. I still like black licorice. I do not believe the new pipe has revealed his smoking preferences, if he has any. Sorry, Big Dave. I would love for him to be a pipe smoker. Hey, pipe smoking is not necessarily a vice, Declan. We're all human. We all have vices. Ron Hardcrackers, dog sitting, huh? They can take their time with their business. I know. They can really take their time. Never tried a wind cap, Daniel. Never really had much reason to. But anybody else try a pipe with a wind cap, and what did you think? I don't know, Doug, but the fact that he specified it was $60,000 for a functional testicle made me wonder if there was a market for the non-functional one. I don't know. I don't know why somebody would want to buy a functional testicle, to be honest with you. Are there testicle transplants? I never heard of such a thing. Were they Ludens? Maybe. Maybe. I do not remember. I just remember they were soft. Well, Todd, based on my knowledge of biology, and keep in mind, I am a brain guy, so they don't normally let me look at anything below the nose. Um, I believe it would have the DNA of the donor, because I believe all the gametes are present in the testicle. You don't make new precursor cells to produce sperm, so it's what's in the testicle that it's going to produce the baby. So yeah, you'd have a genetically different child in that case. Interesting thought, though. Paragon Piper has used a windscreen on a pipe, and he says it works great in the car with the windows down. Ah, I didn't know Lincoln said that, but that is well put, Declan. Oh, Daniel, that save that one for stupid joke night. Ah, Steve says it keeps the ashes out of your eyes when it's windy. That's cool. There's no testicle transplants yet, but it's probably coming, says David G. Okay, so if that's the fact, then why in the world are people paying $60,000 for a functional? You know what? I don't want to go down that road. Never mind. Piper said. That is Friday Sabanelli going with Haunted Bookshop and a Canada Dry. Perfect. Hey, little Piper Todd, how you doing, buddy? I agree, Big Dave. I would love to see that. Poem, I really did not want to know that. Oh, Paragon Piper. No, no. You know, Flint Hill, that's an interesting question. I do not know what the church's stance would be on such a thing, but I don't know that it would necessarily be opposed to it. I don't know. It's a really interesting question, though. The goat story is true, Poem. So the church's stance on things like birth control and sexuality and things like that really comes down to the basic fact that um, we believe that we act as a co-creator with God when we bring new life into. So that sexual act is a sacred thing, and to circumvent that for pleasure is wrong. So that's the basic reason why there's so many seeming like rules and regulations around sex. It's just because it's intended to be a sacred act that brings life into the world, not something you do for fun. So that's the foundation of it. So they're opposed to things like artificial insemination because that's kind of playing the role of God. But if you're just enabling a guy that can't produce a child to now be able to produce a child, I don't know if they'd necessarily be against it. So it's just an interesting question. Sorry, I don't want to go delving into theology here, but it's an interesting question. I know there's one guy on the line that's better qualified than me to answer that. I don't know if he wants to weigh in or not, but and it's fine if you don't. Ah, David G asking about my eye. Thank you, David. It's better. It's a lot better. I still have a little bit of hazy vision out of the eye, and I'm still occasionally seeing flashes, but they're rare, and the floaters are there, but they will subside in time. So thank you for asking. It's a lot better. This week at work was tough. It's funny how something like that can mess you up so badly. Like just walking down hallways, I was feeling nauseated at times because it was just I didn't have the same vision out of both eyes. Very weird. Big Dave, The Thing with Two Heads is one of the greatest movies ever made. The idea that Ray Milland and Rosie Greer shared a costume. It's if you haven't seen The Thing with Two Heads, it's a must see. It's not a good movie, but you have to see it. I don't think organs have faith, Paragon. I don't think the source matters. Yeah, Flint Hill, it is really an interesting question. I have no idea. Maybe the bigger question is, should we be going into these areas where we don't actually know how to even think about the ethics and the morality of it? Oh, Doug, that can't be good. That just can't be good. Yeah, John, I'm following up with an ophthalmologist, and I did have a good thorough retina examination the other day when this first happened. It does just seem to be that the vitreous has separated, and that's the whole problem. I don't know, Carrie. I mean, it would be a little bit more. So first off, the egg transplants are usually fertilized outside and then put in, so that's different. But also, this would be more like inserting the. Again, I work on brains, so I'm blanking on what the fallopian tubes and all that stuff to generate the eggs. It would be like introducing that system, not introducing single eggs. So I think it would be. Oh, I don't know. Maybe we should stop talking about gonad transplants. Daniel, speaking of eye issues, what's my thoughts on LASIK? If you're brave enough to do it, it seems to work for most people. I did not have LASIK done. I had cataract surgery, so I had lens implants, and it was one of the best things I ever did. Doug, I refuse to acknowledge that comment about Milland and Greer. Sorry. Ah, thank you, Chris. So the organ transplant itself, there just has to be a reasonable chance of success. Interesting. Oh, Kevin, go talk to Doug. I don't want to think about such things. Oh, thank you, John. I do my best. I do my best, and yeah, I want to be here, be around as long as possible, and have all my senses as long as possible. So, a gonad adoption? Uh, Maybe Flint Hill, maybe. Ah, that's an excellent point, Chris. Yes, the donor is actually the key here. So that's a really good point. It's not so much the receiver that is the problem, it's the donor. So the donor would have to either be someone that had passed away, or you can't do it as an option to sterilizing someone. You can't prevent someone else from being fertile in order to make someone fertile. So yeah, I hadn't considered the donor. Chad Elliott, good evening. Dark Fire, Kentucky with a dash of Boswell Premium Burley. Sounds wonderful. Right, it would be more like a kidney transplant than in vitro fertilization, yeah, because it's just enabling biological processes to occur naturally post-transplant. But yes, the source is important. And yeah, Doug, chicken eggs are just a gift from God, aren't they? It's wonderful what they can do with eye surgery these days, Patrick. That's the state. I mean, I wore glasses since I was in first grade, and when my cataracts got bad, I mean, I could barely see. And now I just wear glasses for reading. I've heard that version of the sign of the cross, Big Dave. Yeah. Wouldn't the brain reject the transplant? Uh, well, the immune system might, Daniel. So you have to be really careful about matching blood type and all that. And then most transplant patients have to be on immunosuppressants for usually for the rest of their life. So yeah, there are complications for sure. Weasel words. There you go, Doug. Eric the blue collar pipe smoker checking in. Roku TV, really? Universal Monster Channel and an Ed Sullivan Show channel. Very cool, Eric. I have the Google Chromecast system with the Google TV, and honestly, I haven't plumbed the depths, but we have several classic channels like that. And like one is just I forget what app it's on, but it just plays classic Doctor Who. So Doctor Who up until the Tom Baker era. And I know there are some sci-fi channels and stuff, but it's amazing what the streaming services are allowing now. Yeah, that's the thing, Ocho Ida. Nothing's going to be permanent. Age is going to catch up to you, but uh, it's still better than at least you got that 8 years, right? And now you're starting from that point, so not bad. All right, James. Good night. Hope you both get some peaceful sleep there, buddy. Ron Hardcrackers. Oh my goodness. That would be too rocky a subject. Love Universal Monsters, Gary. Absolutely. Yeah, Daniel, I have Pluto. I have Freebie, Tubi. Tubi's good. Tubi's got some pretty good stuff on it. Um, and then there's an app that's called I think it's called the Old Movies app. Maybe it's called the Classic Movies app. Something else I found recently is that there is a wealth of silent films on YouTube if you're into that sort of thing. And they're just fun to watch sometimes. I mean, I'm not gonna watch hours and hours and hours of them, but sometimes, like on a Saturday morning, if I'm up early and have a free hour, I'll put on a silent movie, and they're just kind of fun to watch. The acting, it's just a very different experience. Piper said you have to pay for the Hallmark Channel. Don't ask me how I know that. Yes, things like the Kung Fu TV series. Wonderful stuff, Danny. Eric, I wasn't trying to talk down the Roku. I know and $30 is not bad. I mean, I think I paid close to 30 for the Google thing that I'm using, and no reason to not have more than one. I think that was English. So maybe I'll have to check into Roku. I like the Google one just because uh, it works with YouTube. So I can have you can do like live stream. You can watch live streams and see the chat. Although that's not always 100%. Paragon Piper, I know absolutely nothing about Apple TV, but I will gladly say no, it's not any good because it's Apple. Yeah, a lot of the silent films have been lost. So for a long time, we had, I'm responding to Paragon Piper saying BritBox is outstanding. We've had Acorn TV for a long time, which is kind of a competitor to BritBox. And the reason we got that is my wife really likes this series called Brokenwood Mysteries. We actually just watched an episode tonight. It's a good show. And they got a couple other things that we enjoy. But there's some stuff on BritBox that she wanted, so we actually just subscribed to BritBox. I haven't even opened it up yet. Nosferatu was saved, Carrie, but it almost wasn't. It's an interesting story behind that. They actually were ordered to destroy all copies of it because of a copyright infringement. They did not get permission from Stoker's estate, and they were ordered to destroy all the copies of Nosferatu, and somebody had one in their attic or something, and that's the only reason we have that movie today. Really amazing. I do believe there's Gilligan's Island reruns on one of those things I mentioned. Oh, Little Rascals, my goodness. Yes, it is amazing that they've stood the test of time, Eric. I am Kane, I will help you. What a wonderful. We were driving to the beach once, my wife and I, and in front of us was this. We had never talked about kung fu or never had seen it together or anything like that. We were only married a couple of years, and in front of us was this van, and on the back of the van it said Kane Electric. and it had like, spools of wire or something. It was clearly an electrician or a company that did electrical work, and it said Kane Electric, and we're driving along, and I just said half out loud, "I am Kane. I will wire your house." And my wife broke out laughing, and I thought, God, I love her. 'Cause I didn't think many people would get that. No, Kevin, I'm doing great when it comes to technology. I just don't understand why anybody would give money to that company. It's an evil company. Any company that sells you a computer that has the hard drive wired in and the hard drive soldered in and the memory soldered in, and tells you if you want to upgrade, you got to buy another computer. There's something wrong with that. Any company that tells you here's a computer with an operating system on it, but you're not allowed to change it. I don't care how good it is. I'd never give them a penny. Mrs. Brown's Boys on BritBox is a favorite. I'll have to check that out, Chris. Like I said, I haven't even opened the app yet. And Ludwig is a great show on BritBox. Okay, I'll look forward to these. Ah, cool. So Merchant Service Pipe still has some Bings available on his website, says Eric. Ah, thoughts on Savinelli alligators? Asked Carrie. I've restored a few. I don't own any. They seem like very nice pipes. Well, we have completed the Haunted Bookshop. Completed? Finished. Finished sounds better than completed, doesn't it? Perry White was a little rascal? Really, Patrick? I did not know that. I knew about Beretta. Why can't I think of Beretta's name? Ah, you guys know who I mean. No, it wasn't Jackie Cooper, Eric. I know you're saying something else, but the idea of Jackie Cooper is a little rascal. You like the Boswell pipe, huh, John? Make some good pipes. A little large for my taste, but fine smokers. A lot of folks praising alligators here, so that's good. Jackie Cooper was Perry White? Really? That doesn't seem right to me, but Robert Blake, that's what I was trying to think of. Joshua Mooney. Jackie Cooper, yep. Huh. Hey, Peter, you started late. Let's be fair. You started late. Me and Peter have a haunted bookshop race every week. I always lose. It's who can smoke the longest, not who can finish first. If it was who could finish first, I would win all the time. I think we need to do a live stream some week where me and Peter have a slow smoke competition. Would that be boring or what? Uh, Peter would carry the show. I'd just be boring. Uh, let's have another pipe. So I'm going to smoke some of the tobacco of the month. I've been a bit lax in my tobacco of the month duties, and I'm going to put it in this wonderful Marksman Jumbo. One of the oldest pipes I have. Oldest in terms of it was made a long time ago. It's, for me, it's probably 15 years I've had it now, something like that. So let's load this up with some Samoy. Andrew Sorigliano, good evening, my friend. Happy Friday. Daniel Leslie doing the best job I've ever seen at a Three Stooges impression in text. That was Robert Blake in The Treasure of the Sierra Madre. Very cool, Doug. I love that kind of trivia. Carolina Red with Perique. Good stuff, Ras. Good stuff. Good to see you tonight. Shout out to Shemp, indeed. Poor Shemp. Doesn't get the love he deserves. I have to admit though, when I see a Stooges short come on, I'm like, oh boy, it's the Stooges. Oh, it's a Shemp episode. Okay. I mean, Curly was a tough act to follow. And my grandfather, who was an important part of my life, and I love dearly and miss every day. He was a big Stooges fan, but he really liked Joe Besser, and I tried. I tried. Again, Curly was a tough act to follow. So the secret to smoking, well, there's two secrets to smoking Samoy if you're going to try it. One is pack it as tight as you can. Pack it like you're trying to block the pipe. And the second, because you won't, it's very dry. And the second is puff slowly. No, Daniel, I'm not going to do a Curly impression. No. Okay, how about a favorite Three Stooges short? I asked that question and then immediately realized that I will have to come up with an answer, and I do not know. Byzantium. David G just ordered some C&D Byzantium. Any comments on the blend? It's a Balkan, if I'm not mistaken, and I believe I have had it, and it was I believe I sent it to someone because it was too much Latakia for me. But maybe I'm thinking of a different blend. Six pants, Daniel Leslie says. They were tailors in that one. Problem is I get them all confused, and I don't know if I'm thinking of the same short or if I'm like mixing them up. Doug likes the one where the clam and the clam chowder keeps squirting Mo in the eye. Yeah. It might have been Curly, Doug. I'm not sure either, but that's a classic. I'm thinking of the one where I think these are the same um, shorts, but it might be two different shorts. There's the one where they're delivering ice, and there's this hilarious scene where they've got to go up this long staircase, the long outdoor steps, set of steps up to the house to deliver ice, but they can't get to the top of the steps without the ice melting. And I just that's got some funny stuff in it. But I think that might be the same one where they get hired in to cook the birthday dinner, and they make the cake that falls, and they wind up filling it up with gasoline or with stove gas, not gasoline. Plumbing we will go, Gary. A classic. Hunting with the bear. I've seen them all so many times. It's vaguely familiar, Daniel. But ooh, those are fighting words. Piper said. Sid. No, I love Laurel and Hardy, but it got to be in a different mood. Yeah, the other one is the Marx Brothers. I love the Marx Brothers, but it's not the same thing. I mean, I would say all three of those, although they generally get lumped together, they're really very different. If you're in the mood for the Marx Brothers, the Three Stooges, or Laurel and Hardy just isn't going to do it for you. No, I don't think I would be able to do 65% Latakia, Patrick. You know that one, Peter? Yeah, it was funny. Shem trying to reveal the spot when he realized it was the sun. That's another good one. They're selling a cleaning product called Brighto that just dissolves everything that they put it on. Doug, I know that movie, Mosquito Coast, and I remember that, and I never made the connection between that and the Stooges. Yeah, I haven't seen that in forever, but if I remember, that was not a bad movie. How about favorite Marx Brother movie scenes? There is a scene from Marx Brothers movies that and again, I cannot remember the movies. They all kind of get jumbled together in my mind, but there is one skit, I guess you would call it, that just thinking of it makes me laugh. And that is, I think it's in Horse Feathers. And it's the scene where Harpo, if I remember this right, no, it might be Chico. So Chico is trying to sell lemonade, and there's another guy selling lemonade right next to him. And they're like fighting over who has the right to sell the lemonade, and the first guy's having much more success at it. And then all of a sudden the line has shifted and everybody's lined up at Chico's lemonade stand, and the guy's looking and he can't figure out why, and he turns and looks, and there's this big glass tank of lemonade with like lemons floating in it and stuff at the guy's stand, and Harpo has gotten up on top of this and barefoot is paddling his feet up and down in the lemonade tank. And I don't know why it's so funny, but it just makes me laugh every time I think of it. You know, it's like the most obnoxious thing you could do to get business away from this guy. Wow, the mirror scene's a classic, Danny. Yes. That's a great line from Groucho, Doug. The Smooth Piper asking, can anyone recommend a wood glue to use on his pipe stand? He's got an old one and the top came off. Peter, believe it or not, for most of my woodworking wood glue needs, I actually use Elmer's white glue. It works just fine. If it doesn't need to be waterproof, it's and if the part is made well, if the joint is made well, it will work. So I'd recommend try. You probably have it. You know, I'd recommend trying that before you go out and buy anything. Abbott and Costello, Gary Edminster brings up. You know, I like Abbott and Costello's comedy routines. Who's on first, of course, is a classic. But when I think of Abbott and Costello, I think of what they did to the Universal monsters, and I never really liked those movies. Elmer's does make a wood glue too, John. That's true. But honestly, the plain old white school glue works pretty well on wood. I mean, I have a workbench here that I've been using for 20 years that is put together with Elmer's glue. And I pound on that, I saw on it, I plane on it, I do everything on that workbench, and it's fine. I didn't know it was based on a bestseller, Doug. That's interesting. It was, yeah, it was not a happy ending for sure, but I remember it not being a movie that I walked away from feeling good, but I walked away from it feeling like I had experienced something. Abbott and Costello is the only comedy duo in the Baseball Hall of Fame. There you go. Ah, Joshua, that's fantastic. You know, it's so sad to me that young people don't know these things as well as I did growing up. And I was, I was growing up after Abbott and Costello's heyday. They were still alive, but they certainly weren't in their prime. Stooges were, they'd occasionally show up, but they were quite elderly in my youth. And it just seemed like something, things like, does anybody even know who the Little Rascals are anymore? Because when I was a kid, the Little Rascals were on every day. Sauchi Piper winning a baseball game 15-6. Good job, Sauchi. First pipe stand you ever bought. Well, you got to take care of that, Peter. I mean, the good thing about Elmer's wood glue is that it with a little bit of warm water, you can take it right off. Elmer's white glue, I should have said. Sorry, not wood glue. I don't know about the wood glue. Yes, this Wild, 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 Wild World was quite a collection of comedians, David. Well, there you go, Doug. Hey, aren't they playing the Phils this weekend? I was watching I've told you before, I like to watch these bad movie reviews on YouTube. So one of the channels I watch is called So Bad It's Good. And these are young guys and they don't know, you know. They're good at what they do, but they don't know classic stuff. And there was a movie on recently that starred Hunts Hall. And they said, "Who the heck is Hunts Hall?" And I thought, how could you not know who Hunts Hall was? Do any of you remember Hunts Hall? Carrie vaguely knows who the three rascals are. Oh, Carrie. I don't know if you did that on purpose or not. Bowery Boys. There you go, Danny. Ah, so the Phils. I haven't been paying attention this week. Been too busy. They beat the Phils 2 games to 1. Okay. Well, good for them, Doug. What was the Little Rascals' dog name? Pete. Yeah, I think it was. I think it was Pete. Oh, Rob Link. That is a fantastic line. Bob Hope. Fantastic. Was it Spot or Pete? I think it was Pete. Or Petey. Kids today probably know him as the Target dog. Codger Jim bringing up a waterbed filled up with Elmer's glue. Oh my goodness. Paul wants to know what the Little Rascals' donkey or mule was. I did not know they had a donkey or a mule. Did not know that was a thing. Yeah, Shoeless Joe and Pete Rose are officially off the bad boy list. Indeed, David. Indeed. And I think, I mean, I can't speak to the Shoeless Joe thing. There were more shenanigans in that case, but I think Pete Rose got a raw deal. The donkey was named Algebra? Where did the time go indeed, Patrick? Flies by these days. Yeah, it looks like a good weekend for baseball, Doug. Absolutely. Ah, that is quintessential Groucho Marx, Ron. Ooh, John's doing a deep dive on the Stooges. What was the girl's name that wanted to join the He-Man woman? Oh, wait a minute. Was that? Oh, no, no, that was the Rascals. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the one of the first Stooges shorts was a woman haters club thing, but it wasn't the He-Man woman haters club. That was the Rascals. I agree with you, Doug. I have no idea why it took so long to deal with the Pete Rose thing. That was politics. I think the only girl on the Little Rascals was Darla. Haunted Bookshop does make time go by. You're right, David. Alfalfa was in It's a Wonderful Life. Did not know that, Joshua. Have to watch for him next time I see it. A Smooth Piper's moving on us some HGL and a Lorenzo pot-shaped billiard. Finally caught up to me, huh, Peter? What's the name of the Lone Ranger's brother's horse? This time he got his hat from Stan Laurel. I remember the You Bet Your Life show. That used to be on the local PBS station would play You Bet Your Life and then the Honeymooners, or maybe it was the other way around. But it was the last thing they would show before going off the air on like Saturday nights, I think. And yeah, say the secret word and the bird will fall down. That show that was Groucho's game show was amazing. It was funny. Oh, Jackie Gleason can make life better, Danny, for sure. I remember Soupy Sales, Sachi Papa. I do remember Soupy Sales. Dennis the Menace, Jay North just passed away recently, yes. Oh, Pepe going deep with Shirley Temple and Bojangles. My goodness. Yes, Farina was Stymie's sister. Yeah. Or wait a minute, was no, Farina was Buckwheat's sister. I don't know if Stymie was related to Buckwheat and Farina. I'd have to look that up. I don't actually know the family tree of all the Little Rascals, but it makes sense that Farina and Buckwheat would be related. Yes, Jackie Gleason was just a he was an incredible physical actor. You know, his facial expressions were very telegraphic. I mean, he could say more with his face than he could with words. And the amazing thing about him is if you've ever seen him dance, he was this very big man, but he could just float. I have no idea how he accomplished that. It was almost like he was hanging on wires or something. Very agile. Jimmy Durante was a treasure, David. We can't forget I Love Lucy, Pepe, no matter how hard we try. Not a Lucille Ball fan. Although in her early days, she was she was an extra in one of the Stooges shorts, and if you ever get a chance to see that and see and realize who she is, I mean, she was very attractive in her early days. All right, Carrie, you have a great weekend. Nice to see you tonight. Patrick says Lucy was the queen of physical comedy. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, she definitely could do that. I don't know. I think I might have just been overexposed to it as a kid. My mom liked it. It was always on. Creator has some Shanae cake and a Peterson 302. Nice. Gleason was a boxer. That's interesting, Gary. I did not know that. Ah, the old black and white Zorros. They were something, Pepe. Sauchi's got some black frigate. Nice. And a Kamoy billiard. Gleason could do drama. I mean, even in the Honeymooners, there were times when you really felt for Ralph. I mean, he could pull that off for sure. Ocho Ida, thank you for joining us, buddy. You have a great weekend. I'm trying to get finished. We are trying to finish on time, I should say. I think we still got 5 minutes. Yes, there's an interesting story behind that, Doug. So she was the first sitcom actress to be allowed to be shown as pregnant. But interestingly, the episode where they revealed that she was pregnant, the original title of that episode was something like Lucy is Pregnant. They weren't allowed to use that title. And they actually used Lucy is and whatever the Spanish word is for pregnant. I can't remember right now. Which is kind of funny because it means the same thing, obviously, but they weren't allowed to use the English word pregnant in the title. Yeah, Kevin, you don't want to get caught with that, so thanks for tuning in, buddy. I hope you do come back next week. Have a great weekend. Folks, I think I may have hit the bottom of the bowl here. Oh yeah, that's just ash. Wonderful stuff, the Samoy. Very different. I think perhaps on Sunday I'll give the full impressions of it. I've had it before, so this is my first time with it, but I've gotten to revisit it a bit this week and well, past couple weeks. Embarazada. Yes, Sachi. Yes, I think that word sounds right to me. So the title was Lucy is Embarazada. Gleason was the great one, yes. Notorious pool shark. Star Trek was a Desilu production, yes. So for that reason, I guess I can't be too anti-Lucy. Steve, I've got the original Samoy, the green label. I don't honestly know what it was, just called Samoy. Burmese Samoy. Ah, Piper said that looks more familiar to me. Lucy is Incendente, Inciente. That looks right to me. Yeah, I got a lot of splaining to do, Pepe. I do. A lot of splaining. Yeah, thanks for the suggestion, Paragon. But I really like the regular, and I'm not gonna. It's not something I'm gonna smoke a lot more of. It's just an occasional treat for me. I've got like 5 jars of this in my cellar, so I don't think I'm gonna be buying any more Samoy. I don't know, but I bought it when it first went international, like the first month that it was being sold by, I think it was Smoking Pipes, and it was the only Samoy available, so I just labeled the jar Samoy. So I have no idea what it is. I think it was La Brome's Samoy, but I just assumed that was the manufacturer's name or something. Now, Patrick, you're one of those lucky folks that got it before it hit the coast, huh? All right, Sachi Papa, you have a great evening, and I hope the games go well tomorrow. Good night, Piper on the 45. Five Brothers is not Samoy, David. It's a very different blend. They're both burley. They're both shag cut burley, but Samoy is very unique. It's grown in a particular region in Belgium, and there's something about the soil there that just gives it a very unique flavor. So not even close to the same thing. I have some of those Bouchon's Paragon Piper, and some night I will smoke one of those on a live stream. I've never smoked one, but I will someday. Good night, Jeffrey. And I think I'm going to draw this to a close since folks are saying goodnight to me, and I've only got one little swig of beer left here. So let's wrap this up. So I appreciate you guys showing up. It's always good to see you every Friday night. You make my Friday night special, and I do appreciate that. And we will be doing this again next week. So I hope you all tune in for that. I will be back on Sunday with a video probably about the Samoy. I'm not 100% certain yet, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, until then, until next Friday, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend and a wonderful week ahead. Take care and be good to one another. Bye now.